Hi, this is Pete Gary with Fact or Fiction Friday from the Boca Voice. I want to thank you for joining us. And today we want to talk about the visionary session that Councilman Scott Singer went on today, and actually the architect Ken Hirsch, who moderated. They did a phenomenal job at bringing together community. They put together a series of residents that was spec'd over 12 different tables, 8 residents per table, and they went over a series of topics. They had actually 6 questions that narrowed down to 5, and they had 89 slides that you could choose the top 10 um, photos that you chose and how that property could actually be used. The questions were what's good about the site, what needs changing about the site, what's not being said about the site, what do you want for the site, and what are the possible activities that can go on to the site, on at the site. The 6th question that actually they were going to have is, how do you see yourself in this site? If you were to project yourself into the future, we didn't get time to answer that night because it went a little bit long. The meeting was a little over 2.5 hours. It almost went 3 hours in length. The participants were also presented with 89 slides that they could choose the top 10 slides. The interesting thing about the slides is that although there was a mix in the crowd as to who wanted a restaurant on the property and who didn't, a lot of the people, a lot of the residents that actually took a look at it enjoyed looking at photos that had restaurants incorporated into the imagery. So that was very interesting. The other top imagery were fountains and how to interact with fountains. A lot of green space, obviously, and no one liked anything with a lot of parking on it, obviously. The other thing that they went into is looking at the plot as a whole. There's 3 plots there. There's the plot south of the bridge, there's the plot that's actually the Wildflower property, and there's the one that the actual city does not own, which is owned by a private resident, that they had a large debate about whether or not they should take it by eminent domain or how they should acquire that property and if they should acquire that property and what should the use of it. One of the things that I think that Ken Hirsch did a great job of is looking at the property as a whole. When you look at the property as a whole, it gives you a whole different vision. I mean, think about being able to put a parking structure on the south side and move the boat ramp to another location. This would give us a huge amount of space in order to put a parking garage and help our residents walk up and along Palmetto Park Road like other great cities in South Florida and enjoy pedestrian walkway, as well as being able to use the full amount of the Wildflower property for green space and commercial use, whether that be restaurants and retail or a combination of both or just a restaurant. It was a great concept. Overall, I have to tell you, I thought that Councilman Singer did a great job. I thought that Ken Hirsch did a great job. A few times, a few of the residents wanted to perk up and want to have debate, and they did a great job of shutting them down and saying, look, that's not what this forum is for. This forum is a visionary session. It's not to bitch about what it is that you want or don't want about the property. It's a forum in order to look at how it could look if we all came together as a community. And that's what we want to do. One of the reasons, again, why we opened up the Boca Voice was so that we could have an open dialogue as residents to discuss our great city and how we can improve it. Thanks again for joining us at the Boca Voice and for Fact or Fiction Friday. I look forward to seeing you next week.